Hello and welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the vlog, welcome back to Cornwall, welcome back to us going over the, it's the A30. Excellent, so I've just been driving around the Cornish countryside, not quite knowing where I am. Yeah, so that's a fun way of starting a vlog. I think I know where I am now. I was just like, I don't know where I am. Am I walking, am I driving along a dog path, maybe a bridle way? What is going on with my world? Also, speaking of what is going on with my world, I would have done a vlog earlier than this. I was going to do a vlog on Boxing Day, and it kind of got scrubbed. I was just like, yeah, this isn't going to happen, because I had a little bit of a cold. Well, it was a cold that turned into a respiratory virus, and that was not fun. That was spending some time on the old, there's another A30. We just crossed over one road and crossed over the same road again. Excellent. Yeah, that was some time spent on the sofa, just kind of sweating like a sweaty boy, which is something I don't normally do. I do sleep quite hot because, I don't know, apparently dudes get warm when they sleep. But yeah, not so hot that you are surrounded by the sea in terms of sweat. That wasn't pleasant. A side effect to that was the fact that I couldn't hear anything. All the sinuses got all gummed up, and I'm just like, I can't actually hear very well. You can do the thing where when you're on an aeroplane, you do the thing with the jaw and you go, ah, and sometimes it pops your ears. That's why they used to give you boiled sweets. They used to give you boiled sweets on airlines so that you would have something for your jaw to do, so it would pop your ears when you were going up in an aeroplane. To the higher altitude, so the pressure didn't cause pain on your ears. These days they just don't bother. They're just like, whatever, you're just on an aeroplane, what are you going to do about it? So yeah, I've been doing the aeroplane going thing and trying to pop my ears. Sometimes the sound comes back, sometimes it doesn't. The reason this is important is because we've been playing Jurassic Park Trespasser, which is a game from 1998. We've been playing it on the channel, and it has been a lot of fun. I really do enjoy these old games, especially the old crazy ones, which people took a punt, an opportunity. They took a risk, that was it. That was the word that I was looking for. They took a risk on, let me see, we can go in here. Maybe get some beeping going on. All right. Yeah, they took a risk on new mechanics and new ways of doing things, and sometimes they worked and sometimes they didn't. Jurassic Park Trespasser came out 1 month before Half-Life, the original Half-Life. So the video game that we were playing on the channel was from 1998. It had a wobbly pink blancmange arm. Originally there were going to be 2 wobbly pink blancmange arms as a way of interacting with the world, and well, they ran out of time. That is to say, we played all the way through it with velociraptors and T-Rexes and all manner of things, and then we got to the end of the game and I was like, okay, cool, I'm going to start something else. And I realized that I can't actually hear well enough to level the audio. And you might say, oh wait, what? Oh wait, what? But you've released a couple of episodes since getting sick, which was just over a week ago. And I'm like, yes, I have. So what's the difference between releasing an episode you have already started, like on a playthrough for a video game, and what is the difference between starting a new playthrough for a video game? I'm glad you asked, actually. I'm really glad you asked. That really helps me out some. So for something like Stranded Deep or Jurassic Park Trespasser, or something that we are currently playing on the channel, I've already done the initial audio leveling. That is, I've got the levels set to about where I need them, and occasionally I'll tweak them. Alice Madness Returns as a video game is an interesting one, because one of the big issues with that is that each level has a different audio environment, and you have to level for each, change the audio levels for each environment. Fairly straightforward, right? The answer is yes, if you can hear. So if it's something that I've done before, what I do is I take the recordings, I put the vocals into Audacity. So the vocals go into Audacity, I compress them. They get compressed using I think it's like John's compressor. And it's an active compressor, and it takes all of the quiet areas in your vocals and stretches them out to make them as loud as the loudest parts of your spoken audio. So if you get super excited, or if you're just kind of relaxed into playing, and you'll get super quiet, all of that becomes one level. And in terms of dynamic range, you lose dynamic range. So dynamic range is, well, you've heard that when you've been watching a film. You watch a film and everyone's mumbling away, having a quiet conversation, and then an explosion goes off and it's super loud. That's because they're using the whole audio dynamic range of that is available to you. And that is everything that you can hear from very low, and then everything, so from super quiet to super loud, but super loud before it starts to clip and pop. So you have like a maximum limited range up and down. So if you go too low, you just can't hear anything at all, and too high, it starts getting a bit weird. Excellent, glad we could have that conversation. So for my audio, for my vocals, I tend to compress the crap out of them. So they'll sound loud. In terms of volume, they're whatever volume you have your playback set to in either Windows or in YouTube or whatever. So you have control over that. When it comes to the game audio, I always set the game audio to between -20 and -30 decibels, so that the spoken audio is louder than the game audio. Fairly straightforward, right? Because you don't want to be talking away and then get completely drowned out by the game that you're playing, but you still want everyone to hear the game that you're playing on YouTube. And if you just come here and you just clicked on this as a vlog, as someone driving around, and don't know that this channel, this YouTube channel, is primarily a video gaming channel, then you'll be super confused. But trust me. So the way you do it is you take the game audio and you add, so for Stranded Deep I add -6 decibels, and that for the most part is fine. When a storm rolls in, there's thunder and lightning, I'll reduce the audio levels down to -15, and if we're using anything with a motor, like a gyrocopter or a raft, I reduce the audio levels to -12. It keeps everything bearable for the watcher, for the listener, for the viewer. But when you're recording a new game, you need to be able to hear those levels, because just looking at the sound meter at the side of your editing software, sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you actually need to listen to what's going on, and then level it manually. And a decibel it's not a linear curve. So if you take 2 decibels out, you're not taking like 1 + 1 decibel. It's actually just decibels are weird. Let's just leave it at that, because I'm driving and I don't really want to explain too hard what's going on there. But the short of it is, in order to do a new game and in order to do all the sound, I really need to be able to hear what's going on. And with this cold that I've had, well, it's very difficult. It's very difficult to get. I mean, I can get most of it. What I can't get is the bass. Apparently bass is one of those things that is just absolutely wiped out of my hearing range. So it's all treble and mid and no bass, which is, it's not good. Speaking of not good, so that's why I haven't, okay, let's just circle back. That's why I haven't done another game after Trespasser. We can do something. I do have Horizon Zero Dawn, which has been on my radar for a while. In fact, I do have Horizon Zero Dawn. It's not installed yet. I also have, what else do I have? I have the original Tomb Raider 2013, the one with the kind of very active game over screens. So if anyone's got a suggestion, yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn, or Tomb Raider 2013, or Far, Strange Tides. It's the sequel to Lone Sails. I've also got that as well. So those are the three options. Is it Strange Tides or Drifting Tides or something to do with tides? The sequel to Lone Sails, basically. Okay, right, cool. Glad we can get that out of the way. Also, yeah, I have noticed on the news that America has suffered something of a bomb cyclone. I think Scotland has also suffered the same thing, where there's been a weather effect that has just dumped a buttload of cold air down on America and Scotland, which has brought snow and ice, like a buttload of ice. So I do also know that Steve Courtwright in the comments, in fact I know a bunch of you live in America. Quite a few of the viewers do live in America, according to the stats. But interestingly, Steve Courtwright in the comments has moved from the north of the United States down to Texas in a bid to get away from the snow, and it just seems like it keeps on snowing wherever he is. It seems like Mother Nature has it specifically out for him. So it would be nice if you guys could just let me know in the comments if you're okay. I mean, it would be nice to know that you guys are well and in one piece, and not a cartoon block of ice, because that would actually be tragic. I do worry about you guys. The nice thing about having a small channel, the very nice thing about having a small channel, is you kind of get to know the people who are watching the material, the media, and it is, yeah, you do feel for people, especially when you see the news and you realise actually life might be a little bit difficult at the moment, especially trying to get anywhere through a metric ton of ice and snow. In fact, I've seen videos of people's cars getting covered in freezing rain and then just solidifying, absolutely solidifying. Now, we've been through this town before, been through this village before, and we've been through it during the summer, and this is during the winter. Thatched cottage, and the little cottages here. Very lovely town. Thing about Cornwall, just snapping over to something else, completely different. Thing about Cornwall is, oh, this is dangerous. Okay. Dangerous because it's a blind bend on a crest, and the dude's walking his dog in the middle of the road. He's actually on the wrong side of the road. He should be walking towards traffic, but it's neither here nor there. I don't know where he's ultimately going. Good, all right. But we're not moving that quickly anyway, so we're okay. Yeah, so I live in the countryside, and this is kind of what I'm used to. Narrow roads, there's a lot of brown, a lot of green, a lot of brown. One of the things that people were saying was that if you happen to want to move to the countryside, come here in the winter. Come and have a look in the winter, because this is basically what's going to happen between I would say October to April, May maybe. It gets very damp, very greasy and very muddy, and a lot of people are like, I just want one of those cottages in the countryside with the flowers and the horses and things. And I'm like, well, that's good, but guys, most of the year it's a quagmire. It's muddy, it's wet, and it's full of poo, because that's just what the countryside is. Oh, is your car good enough for the countryside? It's an electric hybrid. Yeah, I specifically got it because it was like driving a living room around. We gotta slow down, Yeah, so I do like it around here. I do. Sale agreed, what for? There's a sale agreed sign, and I think it's just for a field, so I guess they're gonna be putting another house in there. Interesting. Oh, dog. Everyone's out walking their dogs. Of course, because it's Sunday today. Today is January the 1st. I had to think about that. One of the side effects from this cold, and you may have noticed it as I've been talking, is a reduced amount of oxygen, mostly because my lungs are kind of filled with mucus at the moment. It's a disgusting fact, but it's still a fact, so it validates. But it also means that, yeah, blood oxygen might not be as high as it could be. So we'll just go through here. Golsithny. This is the place with the bunting and the pub. I've found a couple of pubs, I think. I do like it through here. Yeah, it's just a side effect of being ill. Like thinking is a little bit more tricky than normal. So I will just take it very easy. Very, very easy indeed. And that's exactly what we're doing. Not trying to run anyone over, not trying to get in anyone's way. There is a car down there, but I think we can squeeze through. I'm not gonna bump that guy's dogs. Dags? Oh, okay, he stopped for us. Excellent. We'll go through to the bus stop, I guess. Thank you. Let's go through here. Yeah. Nice. Excellent. Cool. Yeah, you can tell the locals because they'll do stuff like that, knowing that the road is very, very narrow or even gets narrower. You can tell people from out of the county because they'll just charge down these roads without even thinking about it and then get themselves stuck. My favourite road is one that we haven't driven down on these vlogs, and that is the North Coast Road around Eagle's Nest. And that was one of my favourite roads when I was riding a motorbike. So I had a Kawasaki ER6 motorcycle, and that was a 2009 model. It was basically the same shape as the Kawasaki Ninja 650 RR. In fact, it was basically the same bike that year, because the ER6 usually looks like a bit of a grasshopper. It's not a pretty bike, but the 2009 model was a pretty bike. It was a pretty bike because they just went, whatever, let's just take the Ninja 650, don't tune it in any way, and sell it as the ER6F. So I had a green Kawasaki ER6F, and it was the untuned Ninja 650 basically, and I would take that around the North Coast Road and give it the business. Because when you're on a motorbike, you give it the business. And the reason I only ever had a 650 is because, well, it was a natural speed limiter. I couldn't kill myself on it. Well, I could. Oh God, all right. There's an ambulance, and the car in front is not getting out of the way of the ambulance on the other side of the road. One of two things. If you can't get out of the way of an ambulance, give it the beans. Go. Because the guy behind you is not going to be worried if you're giving it the sauce. If you can get out of the way of an ambulance, get out of the way. Because there could be someone on the inside that's ill and needs to have their limbs reattached, or they're going to someone who is desperate for medical attention. And it should be pointed out, in the United Kingdom, the ambulance you don't pay for. If they turn up, they put you in the back, they take you to the hospital, they fix you up, and then you go home. That's it. You don't pay for it. There's no money. No money changes hands. You even get meals on the inside, assuming you can even eat at that point. But yeah, they'll give you dinner. I was in hospital for a week for a suspected appendicitis. I didn't have an ambulance, but yeah. Then they were like, okay, I think you're good to go now. I think it was just really bad IBS at the time, exacerbated by some sort of stomach bug. And they were like, yeah, we think it's just a virus. And I was just like, oh, cool. Can I go home? And they were like, yep. And that was it. The nice thing about the British medical system, everyone pays for it, so that when you do need it, it's there. And there's no worry. Well, unless it sort of collapses in on itself, which is kind of a worry. Good, excellent. Well, 2023. How has it been so far? It's been grey, it's been warm, but it's been grey. Everything's working fine. You guys, I hope you guys are okay. God, I really do hope you guys are okay. Yeah, we are... Oh yeah, last time I was talking about the scratch in the window and using Brasso. I managed to buy some Brasso, not from the DIY shop that we ended up at in the last vlog, or the vlog before that, I can't remember. But I had to get it from Amazon because nobody had Brasso, the brass polishing compound. And I was talking about using it to get rid of scratches on the watch face. Yesterday, I literally had a scratch on my watch face. I don't know if it was a scratch or just a little bit of paint, and I wasn't entirely too sure, but I looked at it and I was just like, oh my God, what happened? I think I was going through a door and I just turned around to look at something behind me and just knocked the watch on the door frame. And I was just like, oh my God, I've got a scratch on my thing. So I used a bit of Brasso on a cloth and it came straight out. And I was like, cool, excellent. So my Zeppelin watch is nice and clean, which is lovely. Lovely. So that's just tying that up. Good, excellent. Well, we're back here again. God, I don't really know what I want. It's one of those times when you do actually have to go around the superstore and get some food and things to stop you, dying of malnutrition. You can't just eat coconuts and dead shark all the time. And one of the things is, don't really know what I want. It's the effect of having lunch and then coming to the supermarket. It's also a Sunday and it's very empty compared to how it was just before Christmas. Why is my car beeping to me? Sing to me, car. Sing the song of your people. Actually, the song of your people is probably the Neon Genesis Evangelion theme tune because it's a Japanese car. Good, excellent. Well, first vlog of 2023. Genuinely hope everyone's okay at home. For the people who have been, donating on coffee, thank you very much. That has been super helpful, especially in this uncertain time when fuel and electricity prices are insanity. They're not talked so much about in the media at the moment because other things are going on, but yeah, that is definitely something that's still going on. Yeah, thank you for continuing to watch. If you have any suggestions for games to play, like I said, Horizon Zero Dawn. So Horizon Zero Dawn, 2013 Tomb Raider, and the sequel to Far Lone Sails. So Far Lone Tides? I can't remember because I can't get Steam up. I'm in my car. But yeah, those are 3 games I'm thinking of playing. So if you've got a suggestion on which one to play, leave it in the comments. If you're okay, leave it in the comments. If things haven't been okay, leave it in the comments. And I tell you what, I'll catch you next time.